Hello! In this video I'll go over some of the basics of the UI. Now this probably won't get updated nor be easy for everyone to use, so ideally you should know a bit about how to configure add-ons before you download it. And also please read the information on WoW interface. It's basically just the same UI as my classic UI, but it's updated for retail. So starting off, this is the target frame, the player power frame, and the player health frame. We have the short duration buffs as well as cooldowns, and then longer duration buffs here. As you can see, these are the action bars. They're hidden on mouse over, and you can just type /dominos if you want to configure those. But what I think is most important is the add-on called Raven, which is the buffs and debuffs. So here we have the buffs and debuffs. This is the short duration. So if you want to add, let's say this, I already have it of course, but let's say I want to add this buff. I check new, and then I type the buff, and then OK. And I already had it, so it doesn't show up anywhere. As well as cooldowns, if you want to blacklist cooldowns, let's say Haunt is a 15-second cooldown and I have it up here, then I go into cooldowns here on Raven and I enter Haunt, and it will blacklist. This is a list of all the abilities that are blacklisted, and it's mostly just abilities that you use in your rotation. So you don't have double information up here and up here. Now let's say you want to add the debuffs over here on the nameplates. Then you type /plater, go to buff tracking, and then you can add your buff or debuff over here. If you want to edit the weak auras, you type /WA, then you get all the auras over here. I assume you have some basic knowledge, like this is where you import, this is where you create new auras, import. But let's say you want to track an ability that I don't have in my base UI. Then you can use one of my existing auras. You can just duplicate them and then move them to your group or wherever you want. Or you can create a new aura, but that requires you to like customize it to the right size and everything. And I pretty much have everything already ready to be duplicated. So let's say I want to track the cooldown of this ability. I can name it here. Then I go to trigger here, status, and cooldown progress, and then I just type the name. Make sure when you duplicate that you go into load and check so your class, so it's the right class, because otherwise it won't load. Then I use the ability and it shows up like that. I don't play all classes, so I don't know what's important. You can just adjust that yourself. Another thing is these stacks, which I have included for the most part. Let's say I have an ability with multiple stacks, which I don't on this spec. Then you can just duplicate one of these, and then make sure you click the choose button and then the action button that you want it anchored to. Now let's say you want to add a spell to an animation, or create your own animation, whatever you want. You go into the group, find the animation you want. You can either duplicate it and just go into display and choose, and then spells, and you can find all kinds of animations, or you can just add to that current animation. So let's say I want Drain Life to when I cast Drain Life, I want this shadow thing to show. Then you go into Trigger. These are all the current triggers. Then you add your own trigger. Then you go into Event, Combat Log, Cast Success, Source Unit, Player, scroll down, Spell Name, Drain Life, and then the duration, which is different for every animation. So this I think shows for approximately 0.7 seconds. Then you can close the aura, and now when I cast Drain Life, it shows for 0.7 seconds. So this is basically how the whole UI is built, with different animations showing on different spells, and then a combination of different spells to just create different effects. I also want to explain a thing that might confuse you at first, and that's when it looks like this. It's a custom function. It's on the trigger, and this just means that when trigger 1 and 3 is active, or trigger 2 and 3 is active, the aura will show. So it won't show if only 1 is active or only 2. And that's because I have the trigger 3 is the target frame, so this will only show if I cast the spell and I have a target selected. And it gets a bit messy when you get like a lot of triggers, but yeah, I just wanted to show you so you understand when you want to edit this. If you want to add something here, then you have to add it here and add or T7 and T5, because the trigger 5 is the target frame. Let me know if you want like a tutorial on a specific part, like how to create something with weak auras. I don't know. There are probably a lot of information out there already, or you can just figure stuff out yourself. But yeah, let me know if there's something missing that you want help with. And yeah, thanks. Bye.